just kind of personally for me, I ask questions differently now. I've been in settings that I kind of emotionally respond to and can step back in what I've heard and what I've experienced in 3 practices and respond differently. And I think that's really helpful. I had that experience over the weekend where I was in a family setting and someone wanted to talk about an issue that was quite contentious, and Rochelle said, let's run this as a circle. And so we had 6 of us sitting around a kitchen table, and Rochelle was the referee, and we all learned the rules really quickly, and we even did thank yous at the end. And we had a very different conversation that was still full of difference, but felt so different for everyone. And I don't know if you have to do a circle whenever you have kind of difference in the room, but that was wonderful.
About that, we were with my parents and my brother and his wife, and my mother, who's several years into Alzheimer's now and struggles with many things that she used to be able to do, fully participated in the circle. It was an area where she was able to fully engage and express herself and ask good questions. She's an intelligent woman, and it was such a gift for me to get to see her in the arena where she is happy with what she's doing, and this provided that for her, which was really cool.
Rochelle, I'm curious how you made sense out of your mom's capacity to function in this, around this setting. Did you think about that or wonder about what was going on?
She actually still functions quite well, but doesn't have an arena where she can do much other than to respond to what's happening. So it was a conversation where she could participate because it's short bites. She could listen for a short while. She could ask a question. She followed the I'd be curious to know. It was thoughtful.
Yeah, so she was able to articulate clearly what the limits of religious freedom were, but she probably didn't know we were there the next day.
Right.
So just very articulate about intellectual issues in her thoughts, but the memory from day to day, moment to moment, is just not there. So it was really kind of neat to hear her be as articulate as she was, and not to just diminish her as a person simply because every morning you're starting anew with where am I and why are you here and when did you get here and where do you live, and those kinds of questions. And
if we ask what emerged as what we'd call the framing question, what was that in discussion?
I think the framing question was, how do you feel about politics?
Okay.
And not that any of us would have had any difference of opinion. we were in eastern or western Idaho, so and we live in the DC area, so
right. Okay.
We're pretty philosophically just different, and
right.
And have assault rifles. And
I understand. Did you did this spontaneously, Rochelle? Like, let's have a circle because you saw the moment, you saw it was going sideways, maybe?
No, actually, my father, who more and more engages in conversations as though he's an Old Testament prophet, yes, wanted to have a calm discussion about politics. And David Sweet, he actually is the one who said, I think we can do a 3-practice circle. I ended up pressing it, but he and I had talked before how, there are certainly family settings where, you could just throw it out there and say, hey, let's give this a try. And and so it did happen. Or Dad is the one who said he wanted to have the conversation. We were all sitting around the table, and David just said, Noel, I think that's a great idea. What if we did it this way? And it was a little hard for him because he really just wanted to give us the book of Deuteronomy or something. But my sister-in-law afterward said what I hear all the time. I loved saying, I'd be curious to know. She said it totally changed the kind of questions she asked and whatever. And my brother responded, he's somebody who just loves to spin a yarn. You know, he just wants to talk and loves people, but loves to do the talking. And he said it was really helpful for him to know there was a time limit and listen. So it was good.
If I may ask, did you actually physically hold up a clock?
I did.
You did that. Okay.
I
Okay,
did.
thank you. That's super interesting, because I think that's the game changer personally, because I think it startles everyone and they're forced to decide if they're going to go with you or not. Right.
And my dad was 1 minute and 57 seconds into his pontification. And before he got to anything, and I just said, thanks, Dad. Does anyone have a question?